Shalom. All praise to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua and double honors to the elders of Great Millstone. It's GMS Philadelphia camp. I'm Yakalba, and my partner is
I'm a one.
Alright, and we want to go into Israelite Gentiles. We're going to start off with the Dichropolis in Matthew the 4th chapter. Just to further prove that the Gentiles are Israelites. Okay? And the Lord didn't come to save all the nations on the earth. He only came to save the Israelites that were scattered in those nations. Because it's prophesied that the nations are going into slavery. The actual nations, the actual Canaanites, the actual Egyptians, the actual Edomites, which is the so-called white man, the Persians, the Moabites, the Ammonites, they're all going into slavery, okay, under the Israelites. So knowing that fact and knowing what the scriptures say, we know that the Gentiles have to be Israelites, okay, and we got scriptures to prove it. All right, Matthew 4,
Verse what?
23.
Matthew 4 verse 23. And Yahushua went about all Galilee, teaching in their synagogues and preaching the gospel of the kingdom and healing all manner of sickness and all manner of disease among the people. And his fame went throughout all Syria. And they brought unto him all sick people that were taken with divers diseases and torments, and those which were possessed with devils.
Yeah, so it says fame went throughout all Syria. That means that they had the Israelites that were coming from the different regions in the Middle East, which one was Syria, okay, coming to be healed. Go ahead.
And those that were lunatic, and those that had the palsy, and he healed them.
Go ahead.
And there followed him great multitudes of people from Galilee, and from Decapolis, and from Jerusalem, and from Judea, and from beyond Jordan.
All right, look up Dichropolis. Let's read what it says up there.
This is the Greek word Decapolis.
Yeah, it basically means 10 cities. All right. I read the cities.
Okay. A. According to plainly, these cities were Damascus, Opatan, Philadelphia, Rappahannock, Scythopolis,
Scythopolis, yeah,
Gadara, Hippondian, Pilla, Galasa, and Kanatha,
which is Gil. All right. So these are the cities that a lot of Israelites, foreigners or Israelite Gentiles came from to Israel, into the land of Israel to be healed by the Lord Yahushua. All right. Now give me 12th chapter. Matter of fact, continue. Well, read to the last verse. Did you read 25?
Oh yeah.
All right. Yeah. Go to 12:1. Corinthians.
Corinthians.
Now that point was to prove that you had Israelites going from coming from different regions to be healed. All right. Go ahead.
First Corinthians 12:1. Now concerning spiritual gifts, brethren, I would not have you ignorant. You know that you were Gentiles carried away unto these dumb idols.
All right, that's that point is to prove that you had Israelites that were worshiping different customs that weren't worshiping Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, or weren't worshiping the Father. Okay, and the Israelites that came from that Dichropolis, some of them could have knew they were Israelites, some of them couldn't know they were Israelites. The point was they weren't necessarily of the circumcision; they were scattered outside of the land of Israel. All right, you got a point?
Yes. James 1:1. James, a servant of the Most High and of the Lord Yahushua, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting.
Okay, so the scriptures, Peter's telling you that the 12 tribes were scattered abroad throughout the known world at that time, and one of those regions was the Dichropolis. All right. Matter of fact, I want you to go to Matthew the 5th chapter. One of those regions was the Dichropolis. All right. Now that was under the Roman Empire. That whole region was under control of the Roman Empire, because the majority of those cities, I think all of those cities, were either Greek, either Greek names or Latin names. All right.
And the prophets have Greek and Latin names.
Yeah, some of the prophets, like Mark, that's I believe that's Latin, and Luke, that's a Latin word. All right.
Matthews 5:15.
No, 5:1.
Oh. Matthews 5:1.
Yeah, point 15.
No.
All right, 1.
And seeing the multitudes, he went up into the mountain, and when he was set, his disciples came unto him.
So the multitude consisted of what Israelites that were already in the land, and it was people, men and women from the Diacropolis, okay, that weren't necessarily of the circumcision. Some of them may have been of the circumcision, but they were just in a different land, and some of them weren't among of the circumcision. All right, but they were Israelites. All right, and we read in the 12th chapter that the Israelites once worshipped false gods, idols. So it says you were in 1 Corinthians 12 chapter says that you were carried away by those idols. So that means they weren't worshiping idols anymore. The Israelites weren't worshiping idols anymore in their respective lands where they grew up in, where they were raised in, whether it would be Cappadocia, Bithynia, Pontus, Dalmatia, and somewhere in Italy, Syria, Asia Minor, you know. Yes, sir.
This is John 7:35. Then said the Jews among themselves, whither will he go, that we shall not find him? Will he go unto the dispersed among the Gentiles and teach the Gentiles?
Yeah, right there, the dispersed among the Gentiles. Okay, which we're referring to Israelite foreigners. Now, the reason why Yahushua taught the people of the Diacropolis, which are Israelites, because of the law. All right, because of what the law says. All right. Now, going back to Peter's, when you look up the words, I believe, scattered, it tells you that the word there in the Greek is diaspora, which means to a dispersion of Jews or Israelites among foreign countries. Now, among those foreign countries, they learn the ways of the heathen. All right? So what the Lord came on earth to do was the heal Israel, to get them back to worshiping the Father through Yahushua, through him. Because that's the man, Yahushua, where through our sins are forgiven of the Father. Alright? You got something?
I'm looking.
You go to Leviticus. Alright, so the reason why the Lord taught the people of the Diacropolis is because they're Israelites. And because it's according to the law that they were supposed to do that. Leviticus 25.
And also, Israel, or the Jews of the circumcision, every time they went to a new land, the apostles, there was always a synagogue. You know?
Yeah, that's an excellent point. That's an excellent point. So I mean, you can't really deny that the Israelites were scattered throughout the East, the known world. You know, Southern Europe or whatever, the Middle East, different parts of Africa. You can't really deny that because Paul's journeys proves that. Okay, but what people have a hard time understanding is that those people that Paul were actually teaching were Israelites. All right, so why would a heathen be worshiping in a congregation where they're teaching the law? Every time Paul went to a synagogue in a different respective countries where they were at, he would go into a synagogue. Okay, or sometimes he would just go out like we do, go out into the streets and bid Israel to the marriage. All right, and to speak.
If I can say something, anywhere the Most High puts his prophets, Israel is there, man, because Israel was scattered.
Exactly. So I mean, it's like that hasn't changed. Yahweh always done that. He always put Yahweh Shem Yahshua always done that. Wherever Israel is, he puts the prophet. That's an excellent point. Okay.
I got one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Acts 11:19. Now they which were scattered abroad upon a persecution that arose about Stephen traveled as far as Phoenice. Now these are lands outside of the land of Israel, and Cyprus and Antioch, preaching the word to none but unto the Jews only.
Okay.
And those were the ones that were under the circumcision, meaning they kept the law and they knew they were Israelites.
Okay. So it was commanded. What chapter you in?
11.
So it was commanded to them to go out and to teach. Okay. All nations, right? So this proves that the all nations is referring to the Jews, because if they will be going off, right? They will be going against the Lord's commandment. Okay? Because why would they be just teaching the Jews and not teaching the Gentiles? Okay? So they were still teaching the Gentiles, okay? But it just used the word Jew. They didn't just stop teaching the Gentiles, which are Israelites, because of the persecution. If they did that, they'd have been going off.
Verse 20.
Let's say you made this mention about keeping the law. You know, not all of the Israelites we know will keeping the law. That's a reason why the apostles and Yahweh Shai had come on the earth to set Israel in order. Okay, so whether they were keeping the law or not, that's not really important. What's important is the Yahweh Shai told the disciples to teach Israel, no matter what nation they were scattered at. All right.
Yeah, if I can say something else, in Psalms 50, Psalm the 50th chapter, where it talks about Esau, it says that the Most High is going to set us in order before our enemies' eyes.
Right. On
a small level, that's happening right now with the prophets going out there waking up Israel to the fact that they're Israelites, you know?
Yeah, that's exactly what is happening, you know? Yep. Amongst the elders, the great millstone, and the people that's watching videos and that want to come into the fold, you know, into the truth, all right? Because our elders and us, we teach the truth according to the Bible, all right? So Yahweh Shai is setting us in order for deliverance, okay? That's the cosmos that Yahweh Shai came to save, all right? Go ahead.
Verse 20, Acts 11 and 20. And some of them were men of Cyprus and Cyrene, which, when they were come to Antioch, spake unto the Grecians, preaching the Lord Yahweh Shai.
Go, you can look at Grecians. All right. So they were speaking to the Israelites. All right. That's the point. No matter what label we're putting on them, because of what the scriptures say, the point is that they're all Israelites. All right. Whether they're being called Grecians, whether they're being called barbarians, whether they're being called Romans or Greeks, it all leads back to faith, the law, and prophecy. All right. Like I said in the beginning of the video, the other nations are going into slavery. You can't get around the slavery part because the Most High ordained that in the so-called Old Testament. Okay, and he ordained that in the New Testament because the whole Bible is the New Testament. Okay, the New Testament is the contract that the most Yahweh Shai, so-called God Jesus Christ, made between Himself and the Israelites. Okay, that's the new covenant. Okay, and that consists of the law. Okay, that consists of the prophets and that consists of the Psalms. All right, and of course the Gospels and the Paul's letters and Peter's letter. Go ahead.
This is the word Hellenis or Hellenistas. That's the Greek word Hellenistas for Grecian. And it says, number one, a Hellenist, one who imitates the manners and customs or the worship of the Greeks and use the Greek language, use the Greek tongue.
Okay, so you had a mixture among the Israelites. That some of them could speak the Hebrew and Greek. Some of them could just speak Greek, just like today. You got certain so-called Latino brothers that can speak Spanish and English. You got some that their parents never taught them Spanish, and they can only speak English. You know. So the point was the Hellenistas. They were Hellenes. They were Greeks. Okay, that may have worshipped the Greek gods at one point, and they speak the language and wore the dress. But the point is that these are Israelites. Okay, they're calling themselves Greeks. Right.
It says, used in the New Testament of Jews born in foreign lands and speaking Greek.
Okay. So if you speak in Greek, more than likely you wasn't raised up in the law and in the prophecies. But you could have been, in that land and you had a proper education. That's possible. You had a proper education. You could speak both languages. Okay. Paul spoke more than one language. He spoke Hebrew and Greek. You know, more likely Latin. You know. Got Leviticus? Or yes, something else?
I got Leviticus.
Right. You're gonna further prove the point that the Diacropolis, the Greeks, Okay, all the men and the women that were scattered throughout Asia Minor, in Europe, that they were Israelites, because it's in the law that we have to accept the stranger. All right, which at the Lord's time they were being called Hellenistas, or Hellenes, okay, or barbarians. Go ahead.
Leviticus 25 verse 35. And if thy brother be waxing poor and fallen in decay with thee, then thou shalt relieve him.
Relieve,
Relieve him. Yea, though he be a stranger or a sojourner, that he may live with thee.
So what is a stranger? Okay, a stranger is an Israelite that didn't stay with the main camp. Okay, I mean, he was always traveling, him and his family, or him by itself, it doesn't matter. The stranger was always traveling to different lands. Okay, either for to make money, to just because they felt confined. There's certain Israelites that just like traveling, All right. I actually want you to continue on Leviticus. You have something else?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
What I have?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. This is Psalms 39 verse 12. Hear my prayer, O Lord, and give ear unto my cry. Hold not thy peace at my tears, for I am a stranger with thee and a sojourner, as all my fathers were.
Who's that speaking?
David, King David.
David. All right, so David called himself a stranger. Okay. I believe the same word is there, gar, right?
Yeah.
More likely, the same word is there as gar. That's in the Leviticus 25 and 35. All right, which is referring to an Israelite that didn't stay with the main camp. All right.
Verse 30, Leviticus 25 and 36. Take thou no usury of him or increase.
Yeah, and that's the point. How we know that the stranger that Moses is referring to, and that David is referring to, because obviously David's an Israelite. King David is referring to as an Israelite, because the other nations you can take usury out on them. So we know for a fact, there's no doubt that the Israelites were called strangers. Okay, and if you call a stranger, eventually in the future, the circumcision, they had a problem. Well, let's go back to Moses' time. The reason why this law is written is because the Most High knew that Israel was a stiff-necked people, and that they were going to start discriminating between themselves, which stayed with the main camp or stayed in the land of Israel and dressed like Israelites and worshipped all the customs of Israel, was going to start discriminating against the Israelites that didn't stay with the main camp. That's why the Most High had to put a law in the book that we supposed to show kindness to the stranger. All right? So right here proves that the strangers is definitely talking about Israelites. No, you can't get around it.
Well, this is Jeremiah. Oh, slap me.
That's a good one, but go what you got.
Leviticus 25 verse 36. Take thou no usury of him or increase, but fear thy God, that thy brother may live with thee. Thou shalt not give him thy money upon usury, nor lend him thy victuals for increase. I am the Lord your power, which brought you forth out of the land of Egypt to give you the land of Canaan and to be your power. And if
go to 39. So you made a good point right there. Okay, so that's the he's saying that you're all Israelites. Okay, and those strangers are his people. Go to 39.
Verse 39. And if thy brother that dwelleth with thee be waxing poor and be sold unto thee, thou shalt not compel him to serve as a bondservant, but as an hired servant, and as a sojourner he shall be with thee, and shall serve thee unto the year of Jubilee.
So the year of Jubilee pertains to the Israelites. That isn't. So the stranger is under the law. So the stranger has to be referring to Israelites. Galatians 4:4. That's simple. Okay, but for some reason these our people, the ones that we can see by their works, aren't going to be delivered And the other nation that come up to us and battles with the scriptures, they don't know the scriptures. This is elementary stuff we're going over, and they still can't get it. Well, Jeremiah, you got something else?
Yeah,
you got a point?
Yeah, I got Jeremiah. I got the one I have.
Oh yeah, go.
This is Jeremiah 3 verse 23.
Mm-hmm.
Truly in vain is salvation hoped for from the hills and from the multitudes of mountains. Truly in the Lord our power is salvation, is the salvation of Israel.
Okay, so you can't. The other nations aren't going to save you. All right, there's no salvation in the other nations. That's why the Lord is gathering the elect first, and the rest of Israel that isn't saved in the destruction of Babylon, which is America. They're going to be saved through the seed of the elect. All right.
I looked up the word for vain. The Hebrew word is shakwar, and it means lie, deception, disappointment, falsehood. So the heathens been led to believe that according to John 3:16, or according to where it speaks about the Gentiles, they think they're going to be saved, man. But they were lied to. They were deceived, and in the end, they're going to be disappointed because they trusted in the lie. And the scriptures say in Isaiah the 60th chapter and throughout the Bible that the heathens going to declare unto us, and when that time comes, that we are the Most High's people.
Okay. Yeah, Father proving that and then I'm on Ephesians 2. Father proving that the Israelites, that the Gentiles are the Israelites, all right, from the Diacropolis all the way to the Israelites being grafted back in. All right, go ahead.
Jeremiah 11:16. The Lord called thy name a green olive tree, fair and of goodly fruit.
Yeah, so the Israelites are the olive tree. All right, the other nations aren't the olive tree. Period. All right, there's no prophecy that says the other nations are olive trees. All right, but for some reason, people try to say that the olive trees are the other nations, where there's no prophecy, anything to back that statement up. Go ahead, read.
With the noise of a great multitude, he hath kindled a fire upon it, and the branches of it are broken.
The branches of it are broken, okay? And why did he kindle a fire upon it? Because Israel kept sinning. Matter of fact,
I keep reading this and you find out.
Yeah, I thought it before that. All right, go ahead, read it.
For the Lord, verse 17, for the Lord of hosts that planted thee, have pronounced evil against thee for the evil of the house of Israel and the house of Judah, which they have done against themselves to provoke me to anger in offering incense unto Baal.
God, so that's why the branches are broken off the olive tree. And then when you go to I believe that's Romans the 11th chapter, the same branches that were broken off in Jeremiah is because of the Israel worshiping idols, okay, worshiping other gods. All right. So we read in 1 Corinthians 12th chapter that basically that the branches were broken off and that they were grafted back in. The same branch that fell off were grafted back in, and Paul broke that down in 1 Corinthians 12th chapter. All right. Get Ephesians unless you have something else.
Ephesians 2 verse 12.
Yep. No. 9. That's the point in 12. Just start a couple verses up under that.
Not of Ephesians 2 verse 9. Not of works lest any man should boast.
10.
Verse 10. For we are his workmanship created in Yahweh Shah. Verse 11. Wherefore remember that ye being in time past Gentiles in the flesh, who are uncircumcision by that which is called the circumcision.
Read that again.
Verse 11. Wherefore remember that ye being in time past Gentiles in the flesh, who are called uncircumcision by that which is called the circumcision.
So you had the circumcision, the one that was circumcised on the 8th day, that thought they were keeping the law of Moses, which they weren't. Okay, they were saying to the Israelite foreigners, the strangers that we read about in Leviticus 25 and 35, and the branch that are broken off. Okay, and Jeremiah, the 11th chapter, they were saying that basically they had no part in salvation. Okay, read that again.
Ephesians 2:11. Wherefore remember that ye being in time past Gentiles in the flesh, who are called uncircumcision by that which is called the circumcision in the flesh made by hands.
Yeah, just Israel taunting at the Israelite foreigners, talking shit about them. Go ahead.
That at the time ye were without Yahushua, being aliens from the commonwealth of Israel.
Yeah, some of them didn't know the law, some of them didn't know the prophecies. Alright, go ahead.
Being aliens from the commonwealth of Israel, and strangers from the covenants of promise, having no hope, and without God in the world.
Did you read aliens?
Nope.
Go ahead.
This is alien.
I mean, you read the word, actual word, in the verse.
Yeah, I just.
All right, go ahead.
Strong's G 526, apalatriao.
All right, so the Greek word is apalatriao, which that's for the word alien or alienate. It says, number one, to alienate, estrange. Number two, to be shut out from one's fellowship and intimacy. This is alienate in dictionary.com. To make indifferent or hostile. Number two, to turn away, transfer, or divert. This is the thesaurus for the word alienate. I'm going to read the synonyms. Break off, come between, disaffect, disunite, divide, divorce, estrange, make indifferent, part, separate, set against.
Verb estranged.
Estranged means to turn away in feeling or affection, make unfriendly or hostile, alienate the infections of. Number two, to remove to or keep at a distance. Number three, to divert from the original use or possessor.
That's the point, to divert from the original use or possessor. So these Gentiles, they were originally a part of the same olive tree, okay, and they got pushed away for breaking the laws. Okay, not circumcising their children, worshiping Tammuz, worshiping whatever God. That was the point. Okay, they were pushed, they were separated from the Israelites because they are Israelites, and the reason why they were separated because they weren't keeping the commandments of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So that's what the word alienate means. I knows it on that.
You gonna make the point about Jeremiah 11:16? It says broken off. It says break off right here.
Oh, kind of. Oh, yeah. Go explain it.
Hold on. I gotta find it first. Oh, goddamn.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, boy, that's a good word. Broken off. That's a good point. Broken off. And just in 11:16, if you just read, yeah, broken off. They were part of the same olive tree. The Israelites were part of the same olive tree. They were broken off, and they became Israelite Gentiles. Okay, that's why they were scattered in the Dichropolis. That's the first scripture we started off with.
This is Jeremiah 11:16. The Lord called thy name. Wait a minute. The Most High only put his name on Israel, man. Nowhere else in the scriptures, Bubble Eyes, did the name of the Most High, or the name that the Most High put his name on the other nations. Okay? It said, a green olive tree, fair and of goodly fruit, with the noise of a great tumult, he have kindled fire upon it, and the branches of it are broken off. You go to the definition or the thesaurus for alienate, which you just read, alienate in Ephesians, the 2nd chapter, the 12th verse, okay? It says that the first synonym is break off, okay? So that's aligned with the scripture in Jeremiah 11:16, which only involves the Israelites, not the Gentiles, man.
Yeah, kind. And to further prove it, to alienate, you have to have a friendly relationship with somebody to be alienated from them. All right. You can't be alienated from somebody that you never knew.
It says alienate, number one, to make him different or hostile, he has alienated his entire family.
So they were once at good relations. Okay, now because of the idol worship, those Israelites became alienated. All right, and they started worshiping other gods. And Yahushua, he came to bring back the elect of those Israelites that were in the other nations, being called Greeks, Romans, to worship Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, to receive salvation. The elect, okay? Because all of Israel is not going to be saved on this side.
Alienate in the World English Dictionary, to cause a friend, sympathizer, etc., to become indifferent, unfriendly, or hostile, estranged.
The word world history, English dictionary.
World origin.
Yeah.
World origin and history. Alienate, 1540s. Make a strange, in parentheses, in feelings or affections. From Latin, alienitis.
Read.
First Peter 1 verse 1. Peter, an apostle of Yahweh Shah, to the strangers scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, and Bithynia.
Read.
Elect according to the foreknowledge of the Most High, the Father, through sanctification of the Spirit unto obedience and the sprinkling of the blood of Yahweh Shah, grace unto you and peace be multiplied.
So right there, when it says through the foreknowledge, look up the word foreknowledge. Prognosia. Yeah, prognosis.
Okay, the word for foreknowledge in the Greek is prognosis, which means foreknowledge. Number 2, forethought or prearrangement. And the word foreknowledge means awareness of something before it happens or exists.
And what Peter's referring to is referring to prophecy. Okay, it was prophesied like we just read in Jeremiah 11:16, like we read in and it's in the law, like we read in Leviticus 25 and 35, that the Israelite Gentiles, they exist. And the point why we make this video is because nobody acknowledges that the Israelite Gentiles exist. All right, they actually exist. They actually have Israelites that speak Greek, that spoke Latin, that spoke Aramaic, that spoke Arabic, that spoke Elamite languages, whatever language they speak. That speak Cantonese. That speak different African dialects. The Israelite Gentiles, they actually exist, and we proved it through the scriptures. So all praise to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, double honors to the great millstone, and shalom to all the Akim pushing the truth.
Shalom.